Oh, it's good to be together because, as my father used to say, spring is sprung, the grass is riz. I wonder where Ian Page is. Let me tell you something. My father didn't say Ian Page. Oh, that was one of them things where I'm like, why does my daddy talk like this? Good to be with you on the program. A lot to get to, including our guest, who is the founder of Urban Golf Weekend. Ian, we might have a September to remember. We'll see if Cliff will bring us into his highly priced event here in South Florida.
Yeah, well, he better. If he doesn't,
listen, it's the only way we're coming.
I won't be there if you don't.
If it's free, invite me and IP. That's how we'll work
That's
on that
right.
one. But we love his event,
Yeah,
bringing together
absolutely.
Black culture and golf at an extremely high level. And we'll talk about
Yeah.
the origins of Urban Golf Weekend with him a little bit later in the program. But we got a full slate, and as what happens in life, Ian has shit to do. So let's go.
Yeah,
Ian, get up
well,
on the tee and swing it, baby.
with my bad shoulder.
There it is. Tee off. They're clapping for you. They know that you're getting closer, Ian.
Yeah, with a wedge.
Do you
The
have a
wedge.
brief update on that shoulder?
It's a little better. I hit 6, 7 wedges yesterday because we had some decent weather off of mats. I haven't hit off of mats in 3 years, but I had to get out, and I hit it great. It was a little twingy, but you know what? It's nothing I can't tolerate. So we're gonna hope. I got 2 physical therapy sessions this week, and whether they clear me or not after this week, I'm done, and I'm gonna just move up to driver in about 2 weeks, and then we'll go from there. So I got my ortho scheduled in April 3rd for a follow-up, and I'll probably get a cortisone shot, and that should hold me till hopefully July or August.
All right, I'm gonna need this. Get something to push you to more like October, okay? And then
Yeah,
get a
well,
double
it could be
dose.
well. You can't. I can wait for so April, so I
Okay.
can get another shot in August.
All right. Well, listen, you have a plan. That's what's most
I do.
important.
I
And
do. Now let's see if the
we'll
shoulder
be
will
team.
cooperate with that
We'll
or
be
not, but
team.
we'll see.
First headline, IP, and we'll
Yes.
get into the dynamics of this in deep drive today. But Batia orders the burger. That's our headline right there. Yeah. Akshay Batia missed a 30-inch par putt to fall 5 shots behind on Sunday in the Arnold Palmer Invitational. But that was then. Angry enough to want to do something about it, that man went on a charge in the back nine that apparently some believe would make the king proud. 4 straight birdies got him into the mix, and that guy found himself outlasting Daniel Berger in the first playoff hole at Bay Hill since Justin Tyler Jackson was born in 1999. And by the way, it was 3 years before Batia was born. That's outstanding. All we need is people
Well,
born in the 2000s to make us know full well that we are old. You were locked in on this championship. I appreciate you keeping me up to date on this invitational. Let's be clear what it's called. And I appreciate you and Butcher Gross keeping me up to date while the Heat were digging all up in the backside of the Pistons last night. That being said, as we tape this on a Monday, your observations of Akshay, but here getting after it.
yeah, it was great. I mean, first time maybe all season that we finally got a good riveting finish. It could have been 2 bigger names, but regardless, it was some good competition. We didn't get that at the Cognizant, what I still call the Honda. We had a guy implode, and Echevarria just sort of backs in, and sorry, that didn't thrill me. A bunch of these finishes haven't thrilled me. This is what you need. You need 2 guys coming down the stretch, getting shots, and then we went to a playoff. But fascinating thing for me was, golf is such a difficult game mentally. And here's Berger. He's been hurt for 27 months. He's finally back. He's been leading this tournament the whole week. Shoots
4-shot lead
63
at the turn,
on round one. He had 2. He was up 2 or 3 to go. All right. So, and even more than that, you can't play defense in this game. So it's bad enough if Batia had been 2 or 3 groups ahead or behind him. It would have been bad enough. Look at the scoreboard. The guy's right there. You're watching him make 4 straight birdies. You're watching him rolling a 57-footer with that long putter on 11. Then you're watching him stuff it on 16. He's right in front of you. And you're hitting these low hooks that are ending up in the rough, and you go to a playoff. So I think that's the thing. If we're playing a sport, I can say, look, man, hey, who's that Jacquez guy for the Heat? He's starting to hit some shots. Get on him. Get on him. He's not scoring anymore, okay? Whoever it is. Hey, Tyler Hero, get on him. In fact, if need be, I'm going to take him out. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get a hard foul. In golf, all you can do is go, oh, my gosh, this guy's, he's out of his mind with all these one putts, and he made 136 feet of putts. And you know what? He also fired at flagstick. So, I mean, that shot on 16 almost went in. So, I mean, good for him. Great finish. We went to a playoff, and Batia wins. So, but I had been looking for that kind of finish all season.
$4 million finish, baby.
Signature event, man.
Oh, come on.
I mean, and you know what, Berger, I just remembered, because again, I have this encyclopedic knowledge of golf. I would say it was probably 2015, probably 10 years ago or so. Berger should have won the Honda when it was the Honda. Was that maybe his first event? He lives right in the area. Harrington, at the time, was probably 45, made a 20-foot birdie putt to force a playoff, and then he beats Berger. So Berger's been heartbroken before, and this is a tough one. It's gonna hurt. There's no question about it. But that's golf.
Next headline: it only takes one. I wouldn't usually take you to Puerto Rico unless we were going to the Metropole. For those that know, they know exactly what goes down at the Metropole in San Juan. But there was a cool little situation that went down as Ricky Castillo made back-to-back birdies after the 18-year-old sensation, who we dig here on In the Bag, won Blades Brown. You have to play golf or, I don't know, be a speed skater if your name is Blades Brown. But young Blades came undone with one bad hole, man. One bad hole.
That's all it takes. Yeah, because he ended up birdie in 18, and if he'd have made par on whatever that hole he rinsed it on.
Yeah, but Ricky, can't you see, baby?
He would have been in a playoff, I think, or he might have won, but
he was trying to become the youngest tour winner in 95 freaking years, had a one-shot lead with 6 holes to play.
Should have won,
And then went in the bunker, from the bunker to the water, and made the triple Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I didn't see it because I had my YouTube TV up, so I had, both of them up.
How many screens did you have up, IP?
Just 2, just the golf. Nothing else on I care about, so I had the 2, and I stepped up to get something to eat or something. I came back and I see him looking to drop, and I thought it was his playing partner at first. And I'm like, wait a minute, did he rinse it? And so just a terrible. You can't make a triple there. You make a bogey, maybe even a double, but a triple. So I feel for him. But the kid's got a lot of game. I mean, I think we forget that he won he won the USAM at 16, beat Bobby Jones' record. I mean, he's had sponsor exemptions. He was doing well at the Amex. The only thing I don't like about him is he plays too slow.
Yeah, pick up the pace.
So does Berger.
Pick up the pace.
He plays way too slow. But
get him on the clock.
Maybe if he'd sped it up, he wouldn't have rinsed it.
Congrats to Castillo, by the way, who by 11 points in FedEx had to go to Puerto Rico instead of Orlando. They have that last 5, first 5. What do you call it? I don't know.
Right, because he just doesn't have
guys in for status, right? So he goes to Puerto Rico,
signature event,
shoots a final round. 5 under 67. Gets a little fortune due to the misfortune of our boy Blades, and wins.
Yeah, a couple other guys too. It was a great. I mean, there were a lot of great storylines in that final round. John Daly Jr. had a chance. He kind of fell apart, but he was in the mix. Blades Brown's in the mix. Castillo with his first win. So I kept an eye on the dual multi-screen YouTube TV. But I'm happy for Castillo. I think he won a couple times on the Corn Ferry, and now he's a PGA Tour winner. So good for him.
Next headline, and this is important that I say this properly with the right pronunciation and follow the grammar here. The punctuation's key. Nice, Johnson. Zach Johnson wins the James Hardy in his Champions debut. Turned 50 what was that? Not quite 2 weeks ago? Yeah,
Hmm.
for Zach Johnson. Very nice. And quickly cashed in on being 50. As he was up in Boca, right up the street from me, right up the turnpike, right up 95. Don't take 95 to Boca. Get on the Bright Line. Okay, that's a much more enjoyable way to travel. And if you have to drive, turnpike people. But close with a 369 for the four-shot win at the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. Here comes a whole new 50-year-old crew, IP, led by
Hmm.
the two-time major champion, Zach. Let me see you, Johnson.
Yeah, well, we all know, for those of us who know golf,
Mm-hmm.
we know that those guys love getting on the Champions Tour
Oh,
when
cash
they're
money.
50 because the first 5 years they hit the lottery. Because again, it's 50 to 55, you still got your club head speed. Those other guys are up there, and you make your hay, and you win a bunch of times those first 4 or 5 years you're on the tour, and then you kind of settle down. So I'm not surprised, being 50 years old and a two-time major winner, that he won. He'll win a bunch more, and then you'll have the other guys coming up. But 50 to 55 is when those guys say, "Hey, I hit the lottery."
How about 330K? That's nice. He is
Mm.
the 22nd, I believe,
Look
if
at
I'm not
you.
mistaken. Yeah, 22nd player to win in his debut on Champions Tour. And there was one more nugget in here that I thought was interesting. He had won since he captured the Open Championship in
Yeah,
2015.
well, again, he was older, not a long hitter, and so at that point, those tour courses had gotten beyond him, and that's why the next 3 or 4 years he'll semi-dominate out there because now he's got enough length on those shorter courses to dominate. But as we talked about last week,
Mm-hmm.
speed, and distance. That's I mean, look at Rory taking it over the trees at Bay Hill and having, 20 yards in. Look at Berger having 211 yards in yesterday. I mean, that just you can't compete doing that. If you hit a low snipe and you out of the rough and you got your boy hitting from 170, 40 yards closer, four less clubs,
Oof.
there's no comparison. So anyway, but that's
Last
why.
headline, IP.
All right.
My back. Rory McIlroy withdrew from the third round. I have to stop the line. You know the rest of the song.
Yeah, my
Rory
back, my neck,
McIlroy.
my neck and my back.
Come on now. He withdrew from the third round, not a laughing matter, of the Arnold Palmer Invitational on Saturday when he felt a muscle spasm in his back, and those spasms weren't going away. They're not serious enough, at least he hopes it's not, to keep him out of defending his Players Championship. He is the defending champion there in Ponte Vedra. He was heading home to the crib. Where's he live here when he's in the States? Is he a Jupiter guy?
Yeah, you're right around
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
He had a
he
house in
headed.
Miami, but he sold it. But yeah, he's got a place in Jupiter.
Well, come on back to Dade, baby. We'll treat you right down here. But yeah, so he went back to Jupiter and trying to get himself ready to head up to northern Florida for the fifth major. IP.
Oh, stop with this nonsense. Gotta hear
I
that
hope our
all
boy's
week.
all right. I hope he gets a
Yeah,
good
you know what?
physio.
He's fine. He wasn't in contention, and he wanted to focus on the players, and that's his prerogative. So a little tweak, but he's fine. So
Ian
yeah.
Page, get off the tee. I was waiting for you to say you already had. That being said, let's go to our spotlight and say hello to Cliffy. We're in the spotlight. We sit down Ian Page because we need a lot of room for the discussion of Urban Golf Weekend. Cliff Addison runs that scenario. He's the founder of that scenario. I want to know the whole story behind it, Cliff, as we, for a weekend, turn all of Miami Beach into a beautiful mahogany golf experience. It's absolutely fantastic. So tell us your backstory in finding what will come to South Florida once again as summer turns to fall.
Well, thank you for having me. My story began at the age of 5. My dad put a club in my hand, and I
Mm.
had the great privilege of, playing golf and experiencing all the amazing attributes, the networking, the traveling. So I had a really unique experience for a Black young man And, I always wanted my friends to have that same experience. So I always knew in my mind I wanted to create something like urban golf. I just didn't know how big it would become. And when I had the resources and the relationships to be able to do that, urban golf was created. And initially, when I created it, you know, it was just a golf tournament. Now it has turned into this international event where Black people, business people from all over the country and abroad come and, visit South Florida for this event.
Your tagline for Urban Golf Weekend is events for elite professionals where urban culture and golf meet in a unique way. Unpack that for us.
Yeah, so I think that right now we're in a huge crossroads in golf where a lot of people of color want to be involved. And, with social media, we see a lot of celebrities playing. And I think that our community is more interested than ever. And I think historically, golf has always been, um, how do I want to put it? Not
Exclusive?
open, yeah, not open to us,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people, they feel uncomfortable because there's not a lot of people they identify or look like them when they come to the course. So urban golf is all about creating a culturally competent environment and a comfortable
Mm.
environment where people feel at home. And I think the unique thing about urban golf is it's not only for golfers, it's for non-golfers with the idea once they get there, they say, hey, you know what, golf, is for me as well. And maybe next year I'll pick up a club and play in a tournament. But we also have opportunities at the expo where we provide free, lessons through simulators for our guests. So it's also an educational element to it that people really enjoy.
Urban Golf Weekend coming to Miami, Florida once again, September 3rd through the 7th. We've given people some run up. I still know people that still put a little something special in a vacation account. They might have to double up on that to get themselves prepared and ready for Urban Golf Weekend 2026. Are you born and raised down here in South Florida? What made this home for Urban Golf Weekend?
Yeah, born and raised in South Florida. Went to Northwestern. Everyone knows Northwestern to be like the
Mhm.
amazing sports pinnacle school. So this is my home. This is my city. This is my backyard, and I love to introduce our attendees to it. And I think what makes urban golf even more unique is that we have what we call the Expo. This is something that we implemented last year, which gives vendors of color in golf the opportunity to engage with customers that look like them. And what we pride ourselves on is providing a high level environment for them to do
Mhm.
that.
Talk about the importance of that for someone who wants to be an ally but doesn't understand that phrase. What's the key component that radiates? Let's speak specifically of our people
Yeah, I think that
in the comfort that comes from the unique nature of turning to anything and seeing a resonating positivity of blackness.
Yeah, like I think that we hit the nail on the head earlier. Golf has been very exclusionary. And what I wanted to do was create a space for Black vendors as well, so they could be celebrated and they could be promoted because that space also exists on that side. We always see the Callaways, we always see the Cobras, we always see the Tylas, but we don't see enough of blackball. We don't see enough of East Side Golf, right? And these vendors have amazing products that's just as nice, or in some cases even nicer than the more marquee golf companies. So I wanted to be intentional and create a space where they could be celebrated, and more than anything, our culture, our people could have access to be able to, purchase and hear from them personally.
Now, Cliff, here's the issue. Now more than ever. I'm not saying we live in a post-racial society. We never will. I had that hope back in
Look,
in 2008, but I got a reality check.
yeah, it doesn't seem like it's getting better. It seems like
No.
it's getting worse.
Well, the problem is that ignorance, poor decision making, poor behavior, unfortunately, is taught, and it's taught at a young age. You watch two young kids that don't know what they don't know, and they don't care where you're from, how much money you got, what the lineage is. They just want to play, and then they get all that ignorance born in over a period of time in home and in their surroundings. But let's put race and access almost for a second on a shelf and talk about the economics of this. Golf is just getting more expensive. You and I live in a place where there is an initiation fee of $500,000. We will not call out Lagorce openly on the microphone, okay? But what we will say is that there are certain places where, man, unless you could even be doing well and still be out of reach. Listen, I'll speak on my own scenario. When I joined the Biltmore as a golf member nearly 7-8 years ago, it was highway robbery on my part. It was $7,000 to get in. Now people are sitting on a wait list waiting to pay $50,000 to play a resort / public / private, like with a club within all of that. So this becomes the exclusion now. It's just the mere fact of the price. How much does that come up in your discussions and trying to convert people into this beautiful world of ours?
Yeah, so I do agree. And if you remember, Jason, I feel like the golf industry changed because at one point you couldn't pay someone to spend over $200 at these golf courses, and the industry was kind of dying. And with
then
the
COVID came.
resurgence of social media, things kind of turn around. And I think that's the beautiful thing about golf. I think there's a misconception that you have to be a multimillionaire to play. And everybody's not as lucky as Jason to have a membership at the Biltmore, which always been one of my favorite golf
that wasn't luck. That was on purpose, Cliff. That was on purpose, baby.
I hear you. I hear you. But also there are, public courses that are, nice that, are $50 to $75 that people could play. And that's what urban golf is also about, just educating people about the game holistically and know that, there is a space for you to play. And you don't have to go out and get that $2,000 new set of clubs. You could get a refurbished set and spend a couple of $100. And the thing I love about golf and why I was so excited to build something like this, I think this sport connects people like no other sport, right?
You're absolutely right.
Golf is the only sport where you're going to sit with somebody for 5 hours straight and build a very, very personal relationship with. And I think that there's a misconception that there's a lot of business that gets done on a golf course. I think all the business get done after you leave the golf course because you say, you know what, man, I really like this guy, Jason. He's a family guy. He's about his business. So I'm going to pick up the phone and make those connections and make sure that I take care of Jason. And that is why our people, more importantly, need to play this game. You can't do that in basketball. You can't do that in football. You can't even do that in tennis, but you can do that in golf. And this is something that we need to take advantage of, especially on the business side.
Yeah, you're trying to bust each other and trying to win in those other sports, or there's too much separation. If it's not contact,
Yeah, you're not gonna like, the person you're playing with for the most part in other sports, but in golf, man, it's always. I rarely have a bad after experience with people on the golf course.
Right. Yeah. No, you have to be a special kind of terrible to not be enjoyable.
And let me brag a little bit too. So the organization that I started with, the Joe Roach Foundation, which after he passed, transitioned to For Life, we actually had memberships at Doral, right? When I was in high school, and I could play the Blue Monster anytime I wanted to.
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't really understand the
heyday
of that and what they were providing me. That was a $100,000 membership back when I was in high school. And I used to play that 3 times a week, and I never even
Mm,
thought about it. So,
amazing.
it's just the access that the game gives you. It's something that we definitely need to key in, lock in on. And I'm all about, providing access to my people and just making sure that they know that this is out here for them and it's for them. It's just not for, a certain segment of people.
Yeah, Cliff, I was a member out of Doral, but about 10 years ago, I had to get up out of there. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what
Definitely,
I'm talking about.
definitely.
Had to
I
roll,
know
brother. I
exactly
had
what
to
you're
go.
talking about.
Yes,
We're on the
sir.
same page here.
Yeah, man. It's a shame because I do love that Blue Monster,
Oh
man.
man, I mean,
Got to
it's the
stand
best
on
public
something
course.
sometimes.
It's the best public course in Miami by far, and it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've turned that mantle. I've given that prize over to Miami Beach golf course. I've turned the corner and
Absolutely.
said,
Yep,
"You receive this beautiful best public."
and that's where we have our
Yes, sir.
event. So absolutely, I
Yeah,
like that.
I'm glad to hear that they're a good partner to work with. There's always pushback, though, Cliff. There is always a sector of any group that says that's just not for me. What do you say to the black professional, or just it don't have to be professional? It could be a young black person just trying to decide where they want to launch their life. What would you say to someone that pushes back on the game?
I think that they should approach it with open ears, right? I kind of compare it to voting. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people in our community say voting's not for me.
Mm.
If you see
Hear that?
everybody else doing it, you're not doing it, then maybe that should be a red flag that you need to do it. I just think that golf is something that every professional should have in their toolbox. Um, and like I said, the way that you connect with people, the opportunities that have been presented to me through golf, I don't believe I would have gotten if it wasn't for the game. So
Yeah.
just never be too big for your own britches and always be open to wanting to learn something new. That would be my advice.
You can also just tell them to go to urbangolfweekend.com
Absolutely. You go to
and see what's going on. The
urbangolfweekend.com.
visuals might just bring them in.
Oh
You
man,
know?
the visuals. So it's wrapped in Miami culture. And
Yes,
not
it
and I
is.
was very, very intentional about
Yeah.
not making it just about golf because,
Mm-hmm.
I think networking is essential. And growing up as a black professional in Miami, I felt like we didn't have enough of those type of atmospheres.
Mm-hmm.
So, I curated this event to be for golfers and non-golfers alike. So, we have our power brunch, which is my version of Rock Nation's brunch with the flowers. And it's just a very cool space for people to connect in a very, boss and CEO environment. And we also have our famous yacht day. Big shout out to Rick
Oh,
Ross
yeah.
who
Come
pulled
on.
up and gave out Bel Air. But it's a cool environment, and we really, really, really have some high level people who attend urban golf. So the thing I love about it the most, people always leave with new friends, and a lot of people actually have made business deals at our weekend. So very, very happy about that.
Cliff, before I let you go, you have to show us your balls. Show us your balls.
I don't think my girlfriend would approve of that.
Oh, yo, see, I'm glad your mind works like that. It's just a word about your favorite golf ball, sir. So get your mind out of
Oh, I'm
Miami.
sorry. I'm sorry. My favorite,
Yeah, your
my
favorite golf ball.
favorite.
I understand you don't have it, but for the people that are having the podcast experience, I didn't even need to say that. You could have just been going
Yeah.
right
Oh, I'm
into it.
sorry. I'm
But I have
sorry.
to help the folks
But
watching on YouTube.
but no, I've been playing with the same golf ball for I think 20 years, and my favorite golf ball is the Pro V1X. And the feel, the spin, the softness when you chip and it hits the green is just subpar. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So I know the Bridgestones and all those new guys have amazing technology, but I'm a Tyler's Pro V1X guy all the way.
It is the dominant of the balls we've been shown here on In the Bag. You are not alone, Cliff.
Absolutely.
The culture, the course, the weekend, September 3rd through the 7th. I have traveled almost insanely coincidentally around Urban Golf Weekend. This is now on my schedule.
Jason, if you're not
Do
there,
not think Juwan Strader's your only MC. Okay, inside the Beltway, Miami knowledge on that one.
Jason, you got to be there.
Yeah, there ain't
I
no
won't have it
question.
any other way.
And I'm bringing Ian Page with me as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cliff Addison, the founder and leader of Urban Golf Weekend. We're so glad you stepped into our spotlight here on In the Bag.
Anytime, man. I heard that you're a big fan of Eastside Golf.
Huge.
So me and Earl go way back, and for people who don't, Earl is the co-founder of Eastside Golf, and he and I have been friends for over 15 years. So I'm definitely going to make that connection for you and see if we could hook you up with some Eastside Golf gear. So when you come to Urban Golf Weekend, you'll be stepping correctly.
You had me at hello. I was already there. I appreciate you, bud.
Oh, no problem. Anytime.
All right, Ian, welcome back to the program. Thank you for having me handle that whole interview right there. When you get paid in Dade, we stay in Dade. We're looking forward to spend some time over there on Miami Beach with Cliff and the crew. Let's get into our deep drive, and I'm calling it Anchors Away. Oh, we got some drama, baby. We got some drama as we're going back to Akshay Bhatia here, and this growing feeling that the way that he putts, for those that don't know, for those on the visual, will you give the folks the difference between the anchoring and the non-anchoring when putting? It's the adhering of the top of the putter to your sternum, correct?
Yeah, right. And so you're not supposed to anchor, which would mean, touching your chest. Should just be off of it, allegedly. They just need to ban.
How about not doing it anyway?
Again, as long as
your hands.
As long as the rule is there, guys are going to take advantage of it. So change the rule.
Here's the rule. It's Rule 10.1b, formerly Rule 14-1b. We've got away from the dashes and now we're in the dots. Is that what it is? That being said, it prohibits a player from anchoring the club while making a stroke, either directly or indirectly. The goal of this rule is to ensure the club is swung freely without using the body for support or stability. Ian, as we both have seen, both with pros and amateurs alike, some hands can get shaky. All right, they can get a little yippy.
Yeah,
but if you can use the solidness of your frame, your body, to kind of simmer that down, it is a violation. We're not going to sit here and mince words on this program about the rules of golf. But now the golf community, or at least parts of it, want to put an asterisk on the Bay Hill Championship win, noting that Bhatia is cheating. Let's be clear. He's not been called on this. So it's not cheating. Let's get that out of people's mouth. I'm smacking it out your mouth.
Well, that's golf Twitter, and everybody's got a voice now and with a keyboard in their mom's basement, and they can throw this in it, and they can't even bust 100. But, right. If he were cheating, not that he is, golfer would always, they would call it on themselves. Right. Now, it certainly looks suspect, but until you change the rule, I can't say, is that your shirt hanging down? Is that your chest? The kid only weighs about 120 pounds, for God's sakes. So you can't really tell. So change the rule or don't get it. It's a little unique and a little bit interesting that he's so young using this. A lot of these guys go to that when they're older, the Adam Scotts, because again, at that point, we got a lot of tournaments, carnage, and scar tissue. He doesn't have any yet.
Right. And again, flashbacks of pushing and shoving.
Yeah, you still got to make the putts. It could probably help you on short putts if you were anchoring. But he made a 57-footer on 11 yesterday. That ain't going to help you.
No.
Still got to make it.
Yeah. Well, there were two things in my mind. First of all, you got to maybe not hit as many fairways. I know you don't love hitting fairways, but you need to bust it down there.
I'm not saying I don't love it, but you can.
You're saying you can get going. You got to bust it down there, and you still got to put this thing on the green in a reasonable space. And so just to focus, and listen, we know putting is so critically important. So I'm not kicking it to the curb. I'm just saying we're focusing on this thing for what reason? the USGA and the RNA could have just made this clear, right?
I mean, hopefully they'll change it soon. I mean,
But
change
you have
the
to do
rules
two things, right? You can't
recently.
just ban anchoring without banning the fact that I have a putter that's that long.
Yeah, you should ban. You should. Well, yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about it if it wasn't that long. So just ban the long putter, ban the broomstick, and you'd be fine.
But like you're saying, it's impossible to tell if someone is anchoring on their body
Right.
or if clothes touching is going on, which I guess is legal.
Yeah.
What's with all of this rankering? Is this going to be something that's even dealt with as an issue?
I don't see it because it just happens to be right now, and we live in the world of the news cycle is that tomorrow we'll forget all about it. We'll be on to something else, whatever tomorrow will be, and then Wednesday it'll be somebody fell in the drink at 17, and we'll be talking whatever, So they'll have to take that up.
But every time this guy is up front, it's going to be a thing about fans just chirping about cheating.
Again, the USGA couldn't care less about a bunch of Joe Blows in their basement on Twitter talking about that. They don't care. So
if the player, this is going to have to be the players starting it.
Yeah, it'll have to be that. And look, the USGA, they could change it if they feel that it's an issue. But there's only, I can't think of any guy, Adam Scott and him come to mind. I don't know anybody else that uses a long putter anymore on the PGA Tour.
It's a mess, and it
doesn't. So I mean, it's not like 100 guys a week are using it, So I mean, then it could be an issue.
IP, that was kind of a rain session and a deep drive at the same time. And since you got to go, let's get out of here. Let's go to the 14th hole, the 19th hole. You know why I'm thrown off? Because you look like the second coming of Jesus right now. Your camera right now is got a hole, but is that sunlight coming in?
Yeah, we finally got some sun.
That sun is coming into that beautiful home in the greater Philadelphia area. Like my boy was going to the upper room.
We hadn't seen sun in about, I don't know, 2 weeks for God's sake.
Didn't know how to act. Way to handle that, by the way. The folks on YouTube, thank you. The folks listening on podcast, utterly confused. First topic here on the 19th hole as we toss him back. Luke Donald returns as Europe's Ryder Cup captain for 2027. The first captain in 30 years to lead in 3 straight Ryder Cups. IP, I say he's earned it.
Yeah, and I say I couldn't care less and nobody cares. So that's an 18 months away. I got more things to worry about than who the heck's the captain of the European Ryder Cup team, the U.S., or anything else. Don't care, but good for him.
That reminds me that we hopefully have the brand new I don't care, nobody cares drop prepared very soon here.
Good, we need it because I mean we got the Masters coming up
for the dude. I'm glad.
I'm not unhappy for him.
I know, but you're unhappy about when people announce shit too early.
Well, again, they can announce it, but again, I'm worried about the players and I'm kind of concerned about the Masters. That stuff's in the news cycle that we live in, which is by the second. This is eons away. This is so far away that I mean. What the heck are we talking about?
I want you in these meetings with all of these PR people and just crushing their rollout. Like, sit on this one till next August.
They should have. Right.
Next topic. Ho-Tung Lee had a testing exchange with his caddy. You said this to me. It was fantastic. After he double bogeyed 18 at Bay Hill, which made me think, let me ask IP in the 19th hole, this very important thing. When is it actually the caddy's fault? When is it, in your mind, ever the caddy's fault?
Yeah, I would probably argue it's never the caddy's fault. Mm-hmm. You hit the shot. You made the putt. Caddy's just giving you an opinion, or you guys are talking about something. So if you don't agree with it, then don't hit the shot. Don't make the putt. So I don't know what happened there, but it doesn't matter. I don't know why you're upset. You hit the shot, you hit the putt. And those guys are, what they are. I had a conversation with, gosh, I forget his name now, but he caddied for Retief Goosen years ago. I was with him in Tampa. We had dinner, and he just tells you how difficult it is. He was caddying for somebody else, and he's like, we got 245, and he's like, players like, I think it's a 3-wood, and the caddy's like, I think we should probably, lay up. Tough shot out of that bunker. whatever. He doesn't listen, blast it in the bunker. He's like, yeah, you know what? We should have laid up. Okay, well, I told you that, you know what I mean? But he still gets blamed. There's just there's no right answer. But you hit the shot.
Jeff Johnson or Colin?
Yeah,
Byrne.
Colin.
Brian,
Yes,
Byrne,
Colin Byrne.
Byrne.
Yeah, good dude. And he was just telling you all these things about Retief, about why he is at that time who he was. He's like, he was building a house in Germany or something, this caddy, and he showed Retief the things, and Retief's like, looks at it like 1 second, like, there's not enough space for you to open the door here with these plans. What? But his mind works a different way. But anyway, so, yeah, I mean, in golf, we know it's an individual sport. So there was no bad pass. Bam didn't give me a bad pass. Hero didn't set the pick, a moving screen. Like, you hit the shot, you hit the putt. So we talked about it. And if you didn't think that was the right decision, then you shouldn't have done it. But you hit the shot, you made the putt. So I'm not sure why it's ever the caddy's fault.
We become different golfers when we have a caddy versus when we don't.
Oh, don't we? I don't, but yes, most people do. Because Butch does. Look at Butch forgets how to play. These people just like, should I put my right foot in front of my left?
We don't bring out our laser. We want to know every little nuance about every little thing.
I don't want anything except for you to carry my clubs. And most guys we have, thankfully, pick up on that early, and they don't give me a read. I don't want to read. I know I can read a putt, because you don't know how hard I'm going to hit it and everything else. So I think it just depends on people. You saw it with Berger yesterday. Well, you were working, but he was going through way too many discussions on some of these shots. Jeez,
caddy, show up on time.
Yeah, and shut up.
I'll take a decent yardage. I'll keep it. I'll take a decent yardage if you got.
Yeah, that's fine.
Knowledge. And then on top of it, that's for me, the amateur. But for the pro, your book better be right. You know what I mean? But I also have to have it right too, right? We both.
And you know what? And then you better hit the shot you supposed to hit, right? Because if you fat it or thin it, it ain't the caddy's fault. The yardage was right. So I think the issue is, people just don't realize that. And it's like, again, you can discuss and converse and whatever, and this person's been with you, but otherwise, or like, when you get a caddy at Lagos or wherever you go on, again, when you're asking for a read, or, all of a sudden you forget how to read putts, the caddy doesn't know how hard you're going to hit this putt. So it all depends on speed. If I say it's 2 balls out and you don't hit at the right speed, it ain't going in. It ain't the caddy's fault. A good caddy, if you want, will say, like we've only had once or twice, we'll say, hey, it's 2 balls out, but you need to hit it 85%. It needs to be drippy. Or, hey, this is up the hill, it needs to be outside right. It's 110%. It needs more, But if you're just saying outside right, dude, how hard are you hitting it? What's the speed? Right. So, but I think we all fall into that because we have the caddy. I don't need that. I want somebody who's going to laugh and have fun with me, and is going to carry my bag. But so many times, I've had a caddy detract from my experience. It's not his or her fault, but they just ain't in my vibe,
They've never said that about you.
Well, they won't ever say that about me, but I say.
Next topic, Prime Video documentary coming on the 30th day of this month of March. Rory, The Masters Wait. Will you tune in? IP, will you watch?
No, will not. No.
No, you don't want to go through the carnage behind the cabins.
I just don't. Yeah, I know it all, and so maybe it'll be good. I mean, again, a lot of this content is good, but like I couldn't get through full swing. I couldn't even get through the first season. It's like, you guys are way too inside baseball with all this nonsense, and not focusing. I mean, and I don't know. They're in like season 4 now. How, I don't know, but yeah, no, I have zero interest in seeing that now. Soul Power, okay, that ABA documentary on Prime Video, that thing was spectacular, captivating, incredible. That's good stuff. So, but I'm happy for them. I will watch and let you know. Yeah, let me know. And
I got a feel for you. I'll be like,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I can see that. It's just like same with Full Swing. I thought I'd be into it, and it was like, I mean, really, 4 episodes in, I'm like, I got to stop watching this thing. It's unbelievable. They're not talking to, they're talking to. Never mind. It's just.
Well, baby, we're trying to bring out these personalities, IP, these human interest dynamics.
Yeah.
Come on, let it happen.
And that's the thing. And what I was watching with Full Swing was all this live PGA Tour, all this inside baseball stuff that I already know. Focus on some of these guys. But anyway, and that was season 1. I didn't get past that, so I don't know what they're doing now. 3 seasons later.
2 seasons. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But
I know it can turn you off immediately. I'm going to turn you off right now with some news from inside our. I love the business of our business, so I share it with the people. We have an extension, PGA of America, NBC Sports, USA Sports. They got a media rights deal through almost my retirement, 2033. Good Lord, these announcements are just so massive, dude. But NBC and USA, which now are in separate companies, by the way. I don't know if people realize there was a spinoff there. Versant, I believe, is the name of the new company there. But they've extended their media rights deal that includes the Ryder Cup, the Women's PGA Championship, the Senior PGA Championship, and the PGA Championship, Professional Championship, I believe that is. Yeah, there it is. That'll all be a part of this extension, which is the thing about this that caught my eye is that the deal already runs through 2030. I mean, there's 4 more years on this deal, but it's this arms race between all of these media companies. I guess to maybe get better rates by extending further out because whatever the cost is now,
hope so.
It's cheaper than if you did this deal in 2031.
I hope so, yeah, because they're bleeding money and they're cutting production costs, and they got the guys on a Champions Tour in a studio in Ponte Vedra, but they can spend a whole bunch of money to show a bunch of shots I don't need to see on a bunch of these tournaments I don't really need to see. So, yeah, I don't get it. It's kind of like Charles said the other day. I mean, I think you and even Butcher don't have Peacock, don't know when these things are on, and I think Barkley said it the other day, like, we've done a disservice. Fans can't find these NBA games. So big deal. We got all this, but people don't know where it is. So anyway.
If you want it, you'll find it. If you want it,
I guess. But Butch couldn't find it, and he's a pretty good golfer. So, and I think, that's the thing. Putting these things on Peacock and whatever as a loss leader doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not running the network. So, whatever. And I don't know that we need to see every shot of this stuff anyway. But anyway, but yeah. And then they took over the contract from Fox after claiming they had no money and paid $700 million for the end of that. But we're broke. So they found
they still got a discount though. They paid less than Fox did.
So it's ridiculous. These companies are all the same, right? They're crying poor while they're counting their money. Yeah, we ain't any money, So
IP, we did it again. And we got you out of here in time for your call.
I gotta go make some money.
Listen, I ain't against that.
Yeah.
World Tour is off. Champions off. LPGA off. Only one thing to focus on this week. The Players at
I hope it's a good
Sawgrass. Rory, the defending champ. That's the beautiful thing. There's so many beautiful things about the Players, but it is the finish. The holes themselves provide us with some drama, hopefully, if you have a grouping of players, right?
Exactly. And hopefully there's some big names and it comes down to the end. It'd be great. So
Rory, get you back together. And then
he should be fine.
I want some drama with the big names too, IP.
I would love it. Yeah.
Big money.
Scotty, Rory.
Come on.
And a great finish. So we'll see.
Until then, my friend, the crazy thing is the heat schedule has me in South Florida for 9 consecutive days.
Wow.
And I can't find 1 minute to play golf. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's criminal.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, that is criminal.
Too much of the schedule. Playing games every other day, and then every other day we're helping to renew some season tickets. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes, baby. The lifeblood. We ain't playing around. We got to get them in the seat while we change those players a little bit. That being said, my man, for our entire crew, and let's make a note, ladies and gentlemen, that we had to change the schedule a little bit. And I don't see Antoinette. I don't see Matt. But Bryce Gelman, the king of audio, here and locked in for In the Bag. For Ian Page, I'm Jason Jackson. We'll talk to you next time.